Hello everyone, this is Chocolate here, and welcome to my 59th dream vlog. We're getting there. Once I hit 60, it'll only be 40 left till I get to 100, and I don't know what I'll do for that. Maybe nothing. We'll see. For 50, I did a really big change, and I changed the thumbnail slightly. Said goodbye to Shea Gorath, because as much as I love him, he's not in all of my dreams, so it was weird having him there in the thumbnail all the time. But anyway, I would like to begin telling you my dream. So, I was given this task by my mother to locate a young child. And I was in this large house with many floors. And each floor had a slightly low ceiling so that many floors could fit into the house. I'm assuming that's because yesterday I watched Being John Malkovich for the first time with my parents with the low ceiling and everything. It wasn't that low though, it was just lower. You didn't have to bend down, but it was close to the top of your head. So a distraction enabled me to slip upstairs to one of the many floors, and I found my little cousin being tended by her older sister. I knew that this was, my little cousin was the child that my mother wanted me to either kidnap or rescue. I can't quite remember. However, I didn't really see anything wrong with the situation, so I just left them be. I said hello, because I was kind of sneaking around and I didn't want to be like, ugh, scary, but I hung out with them for a little bit as well. And I decided to do nothing. I just left them alone and I went back downstairs. So I walked from the front door of the house, and the house, sorry, I don't know what's wrong. It's really dusty in my room, that's probably what's wrong. So, the floor of the house, the walls were glass, and they were connected to another building. So I went through the front door, and like the light from the living room of the downstairs was spilling into the building, which was enormous, just so unimaginably huge. And I saw this congregation of people around like this, you know how like inside of malls or like fancy big buildings like science buildings, there's like a big circle and then a bunch of plants growing up? Or like in the futuristic-y, I don't know. It looked like the Institute from Fallout 4, okay? That's kind of the best description I can think of. But anyway, there was this huge like plant thing growing up, and there were a bunch of people around there, so I just went over and said hello. And I found this book on the floor. And the book was about a pirate story, and I just became so enthralled with it. And I turned to one of the other people and I'm like, I'm gonna do anything. Anything I have to change, anything I have to do to get this story adapted. And as I was saying that, I just saw more dust, just, whoo. It's so dusty in here, don't come and visit. That's why there's always dust in my flipping tea. But, anyway, so yeah, I was gonna do anything to get this story adapted. And while I was saying that, the pirate ship from the book began to like conjure by the plants. And storms raged around, like the ocean was coming into the building with this terrible storm. And a bunch of seagulls, like, I don't know if you remember, but in Finding Nemo there's that part where they're in Nigel's beak. That's his name, right? And he's like helping them get away from all of the seagulls, and all the seagulls get trapped into the sails because they poke their beaks through and they can't move. That's what it looked like. All of these seagulls got trapped in the sails, just like that. And I was like, oh, it's like The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, even though that doesn't happen in The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. Not that I remember. It's been a very long time since I watched that movie. I do not remember being very keen on it. But I got spirited away on this ship, pulled aboard, and I got knocked out. And I woke up and we were out at sea. The waters were so still and the sky was so clear. And apparently I had imprisoned the captain of the ship because I said he was evil. And the way I was able to determine he was evil is that his evil energy would was electrical. So if you held a light bulb by his head, it would light up. 'Cause science. And one of the crew were starting to suspect me. So they held a light bulb by my head and it lit up. So I had the evil energy. And I accused them of being evil because they were spending so much time with the captain and the brig. So I threw the light bulb at them and it landed on the wall and it flickered for a moment, but it didn't light up. So the crew actually wasn't having evil energy. So I decided to abandon ship. I jumped off the ship, I started swimming away. I was a safe distance from the ship when I got frightened and the crew had thrown me a life preserver. So I grabbed onto it and they pulled it back with such force that I caught air and I landed hard on the deck of the ship. And I rolled a little bit and then I quickly ran into one of the rooms, into one of the cabins as I rode because I'm so fancy with my ship lingo. But I had set up this cabin with defenses and booby traps, and there were 2 doors that you could enter, and it kind of looked like the sand ship from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, if you've played that game. So it's kind of like 2 doors on either side, but narrower. And so I kind of taunted them. I told them that they could try their best, but they wouldn't get in. And I just watched them kind of trying to fight through the doors. And just as one of them was able to squeeze through, I woke up. Sorry, a bit of a cliffhanger that will never be resolved. I'm sure I'm fine. I mean, I'm here, aren't I? So, I hope you've enjoyed my video, and remember to like and subscribe. Bye!
And a 1 and a 2. My dreams are so awesome.